Welcome back, guys. This is the Infinix Zero 5 Pro review, and the only difference between the Pro and the original one is just the ROM size, 128 gigabytes. So the 64 gigabyte version is £177. This particular one here, the Pro, has 6 gigs of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage, dual rear cameras, 12 and 13 megapixel, and a front-facing camera with 16 megapixel. It's a 5.9-inch display, 1080p resolution, with a Helio P25 2.4 GHz octa-core processor. The display on the Zero 5 Pro is really good, and you do get some excellent viewing angles as well. It goes to a reasonably bright level and also very low levels as well, which suits in the evening time or at night time when you're in bed. It has a fingerprint sensor on the back of the Zero 5 Pro, and there's no sluggishness there. The fingerprint sensor is fast and rapid. Also supports fast charging with a USB Type-C, and the battery 4,350 milliamps. Now, because the phone is quite big and wide, it is relatively thin because the battery sort of spreads around that area, so it's not really a thick phone. Good sized battery and very good battery life. You definitely get over a day's worth use. So 9% battery here, 18 hours off of charge, and screen on time there was 8 hours and 1 minute. That's the best I managed out of this phone, with still 9% left. This next one with 1% left, 1 day and 3 hours ago. So that's 1 day and 3 hours off of charge. And screen on time was 7 hours and 13 minutes. So again, very good battery life. So as far as battery draining, or when your phone is idle, I went to bed at 18% battery at 10:45, and in the morning at 5:56 it was 15%. So a drainage of 3%, which is good. The phone also has 2 trays. Now the one on the left can house a micro SD card up to 128 gigabytes, and on the right you can have 2 micro SIMs. A lot of other manufacturers manage to cram them all into one tray, but this way you can have still dual SIM and a micro SD card. So with the huge storage already on the Zero 5 Pro and the expandable storage, you can get a lot of games on here. Powered by the Helio P25 octa-core processor at 2.6 GHz and 6 GB of RAM, the Zero 5 Pro manages games really well. Asphalt Extreme is smooth gameplay on high graphic settings as well. The Zero 5 Pro also handles PUBG really well as well. Smooth gameplay throughout most of the game. Settings on PUBG was set to medium settings. And with it being a big phone and a big screen, it was quite comfortable and easy to control, because there are quite a lot of controls within PUBG. So on smaller phones it's probably a little bit fiddlier, but on the Zero 5 Pro it's actually quite manageable. So my most favourite part in terms of design is the back of the Zero 5 Pro. It's a metal back, sort of black charcoal matte finish, with the lovely little gold bronze trim around the fingerprint sensor. Also the top looks great, housing the dual rear cameras and that carbon fibre effect with the flashlight bang in the middle. And they've got that gold bronze trim around the frame as well. It's a metal frame. That looks super. And it has Corning Gorilla Glass 3, so a well-built smartphone with excellent display and very good viewing angles. Okay, so let me do my speed test. So on the EE network in the UK, nearly full signal. So let's see what we get from the Zero 5 Pro. So 19 down and around about 7 up. I'm happy with that. Now let's test the Wi-Fi speed. Now, one thing I have noticed, I'm 2 floors up here, and you can see the Wi-Fi signal is low. Okay, normally the phones I get probably about half. They're probably about half a signal they'd normally be. So I'm not sure if the Wi-Fi aerial in here is struggling to get a better signal up here. Let's see what the speeds are like. I get 7 meg down and half a meg up for my home broadband. Should be within that region, I'll be happy. Okay, yeah, so happy with that. 6 down, just over half a meg up, and the signal is only like 1 bar. So although it's displaying a low, weak signal, you're still getting decent speeds. Okay, so this is the GPS test indoors. Although there's not many satellites in view, you can see there. Accuracy is up to 7 foot. To me, is accurate enough for when you're navigating, navigating using your phone. To the left here, you can just see this is a little journey that I made to a petrol station. Journey was fine, accuracy was there, and it didn't trail off course at all. So, I mean, look, it's even down to 3 foot accuracy. So GPS has been pinpoint. Actually, probably one of the better smartphones with GPS signal, to be honest. I've never seen 3 foot accuracy before. Okay, so let's jump onto the camera. This picture displaying here at the moment is probably one of my most favourite with this smartphone. I use the portrait mode for this, the bokeh effect. Blurs out the background, and the subject at the forefront is nice, clear, crisp, and some really nice colours. It does perform really well outdoors. You can really capture some good shots as well, normal mode and portrait mode. When the lighting conditions do drop, it does become a little bit darker. It does underperform quite a lot, and which is quite disappointing, because obviously pictures like that what you just saw are great. So it's a little bit hit and miss, to be honest. Obviously, if you're going to go outside and you're going to take shots of these flowers, and in the summertime, they are going to look great. And but for normal use, maybe indoors, there is going to be quite a lot of noise and distortion settling in. On the whole, it's an average sort of camera. So just have a look at these pictures, guys, and the videos for the rest of the clips, and let me know your thoughts. The bokeh effect, though, works really well on a budget smartphone. A gorgeous little apple tree at the back of our garden. Flowering already. Camera is pretty good outside, look at that. Obviously it's a lovely sunny day, but a little bit wet. So let's have a look at the rear camera. Obviously it's it's quite dark here. So these nice thick curtains which are blocking the light. Just to show you, this is the sort of the quality, and I suppose you're not going to expect to see a lot anyway, because it is quite dark in here. But I just want to show you the difference when we go from dark to light in a moment. So here we go. And obviously huge improvement as soon as the natural light hits and comes in, and it's not too bad. A little bit unsteady. There's no stabilization on this smartphone. But obviously low light, it does underperform. Would it open?
I don't know.
Huh?
Nothing. If I can walk all the way out there, the pigeon, I'll get lost.
So here we have the Infinix 05 Pro front-facing camera, dark conditions, and you can see there's quite a lot of noise and distortion in there. But in terms of brightness, you can see things quite well. It's not too dark, but obviously the quality isn't great. If I open the curtain, there we go. So that is a huge improvement, and that's natural light coming through the window. It doesn't look as bad.
These doors aren't pretty shut properly.
No, they don't. They might be broke. Are they broke?
Yeah, well, because the line is
Ah. Okay, guys. So yeah, I'd really like to hear your thoughts on the camera. Please let me know in the comments below. Let's jump on to the OS. Now, when I first unboxed this, the OS looked a lot different. That's because I've now put on the Google Now launcher. Infinix have put their own sort of software over this, which is XOS Hummingbird version 3. And it works all right, it's fine. But I like my app drawer there, and I like my Google Now to the left there, so I have to put that on there. What I'll do, I'll just flick it back, take the Google Now launcher off, Home App XOS launcher. And that's the XOS launcher. Looks nice. Let's choose that one. Does look nice, but I just prefer, I'm more used to the Google Now launcher. Groups all the apps and stuff into little folders there at the top. But I like my app drawer. I don't like all my apps cluttering so many pages on there. I like to have them within the app drawer. But in terms of speed and performance, it's handled both launchers really well while I've been using it. No performance issues at all, really. Let's switch back to Google Now launcher. There we go, bang. That's all I need. An app drawer for the rest. Smooth, really, really good. So we do have a very good loudspeaker on the 05 Pro. Has one grill at the bottom there. It's not a stereo system. Covering the speaker grill does block out most of the sound as well. There's no sort of leakage, which you do find in some more lower end, even more budget, cheaper smartphones. There's a well-built loudspeaker. Some very good levels, and sound quality is quite good. Let's take a look at this 1080p display. Very, very sharp, vivid display. It's not 18:9, it is a 16:9 ratio smartphone. But with a nice big display there. It does look very, very good. And viewing angles, as I've said before, are pretty decent as well. So there's the 05 1080p display. So this concludes my 05 Pro review. Admittedly, jumping from the Smartisan Nut Pro 2, which I've been using for nearly 2 months, to this at first was not a very nice transition. But I've been using this for exactly a week, and this is a very good phone. It's around about £170 for the 64GB version. You're going to be paying a little bit more for this one, 128GB. But it has a great display, fantastic battery performance as well. It can handle games. PUBG Mobile is probably one of the most popular games at the moment on Android. And it handles other apps and navigation through the OS really well. Performance is great. The only downside is the average camera, but the bokeh effect and some of the still photos are really, really nice. So this is an average camera. Front selfie cameras also have the bokeh effect, which is another great addition. But in low light conditions, with video especially, it does underperform. And although it is a big smartphone, it is well built. It is a really nice design, lovely metal finish. It does fit in the pocket, it fits in my pocket just about right. But it is a good phone. So definitely take a look, guys. Links are in the description below. Do you have any comments or questions, then please comment below. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.